All right, so large jobs, estimating them. How do you get your numbers? I'm gonna go over a few things. This is a pretty large estimate. All right, everybody. So you saw by the thumbnail, a pretty large job on my side anyway. I'm not sure, you might have a huge business and everything, but this was basically a free estimate. I just threw together, and I'll tell you how I throw these together. This was like a referral, so I already got a couple emails back and forth. They're going to want to do the work, but at the same time, there's no signed contract yet, so you know it's still up in the air. They're not a customer yet, but let's get into it. Basically, they came up to me and said, hey, we want an addition, like a mother-in-law suite, or basically an in-law suite above their garage. So basically making a garage. They're going to eventually down the road turn their existing garage into a play area, but they want basically not a completely self-sustained, but a separate living area with their own entryway and their own HVAC controls, own furnace, own hot water heater. Same, and that going with the existing house electrical, which we're upgrading to a 320 amp service, and we're going to use the existing gas line for the furnace itself, and that's basically it. Everything else is pretty much separate. Oh, same water. We're going to keep the house water the same, so it's going to have the same water supply. Separate hot water heater, but it's going off the same water supply from the house. So in Michigan, I'm pretty sure pretty much almost everywhere. I'm not sure everywhere, but in America, if you're doing a garage, it's got to be finished, drywalled, not finished, but drywalled. And so basically we're putting a 25 by 22 addition onto a house with a garage underneath and a living area up top, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, small kitchen area, no appliances included, and a little small living area with basic low voltage package, your basic electrical, whatever we want to get with. And there's gonna be about 4 or 5 windows, and the bathroom's a basic bathroom, but it does have a walk-in tub, so that's a little, you got to add for that, and obviously fans and everything to bring everything up to code. We're building it new. So, and then the basement actually has to have electrical. Drywall is one of the basement. I'm sorry, the garage underneath it has to have obviously framed out, but it has to have electrical and drywall on it. Now, what makes this addition a little different is on both sides, you'll see they have failing retaining walls, basically. So we're gonna have to redo these retaining walls, and we're gonna use existing concrete for their garage, so we don't have to re-pour the entire slab, but we gotta put new footings in, pour those walls again. So there's that. That's the addition. Matching the existing siding, same pitch of the roof. The fireplace is staying. We're building around the fireplace, so we don't have to demo that. But that's basically it. That's you guys can see by the pictures here. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of money for sure. Now I know 136,741. Let's get into how I got to that number. Basically, I had my electrician come to the job site. I already kind of have a general knowledge of HVAC and the plumbing, what they're going to charge from prior experience from different jobs I've done with them. So it's basically a guesstimation. I threw the prices together. My electrician gave me his price about upgrading the panel, running the new service and everything to the area, including the garage itself. That's the only reason why I didn't want to just shoot myself in the foot with that. You got to know your numbers. You got to know what you need to charge. You got to know, you have to have experience. If you're going to be pouring footers and doing that kind of work, you've got to be able to know how long it takes you to do that kind of work by linear foot. I would say you have to have a database of pricing. So this is, your square footage. This is 22 by 25. So roughly around 550 square feet, give or take, of interior space, a livable space. So I have a square footage price that I charge per, a square foot of living space, including a roof. Now this is you're looking at 8 to 9 feet above grade. So we got to add pricing on, price per square foot has to adjust for that as well. That's your basic price. That's boom, there you go. So if it's $150 a square foot, if it's $200 a square foot, multiply by how many square feet they're asking for, and that's your rough estimate. And obviously, your retaining walls and access, pain in the ass factor, all has to be factored into that. You got to have subcontractors that you trust. You kind of know what they're going to charge you. I know what my subcontractors are going to charge me within reason. If there's additional issues, you know, we're going to have change orders. That's another thing. You got to be, you know, you have the conversations with the customer. Hey, this is a base estimate, especially this one being free estimate. Here's our general, you know, this is our general price for everything. It's probably going to change based off your material choices, site conditions, and anything we find. If we're digging and we get into a gas line and we can't move it, guess what? We're gonna have to go around it, or you're gonna have to pay to move it. So get the, you know, get the plumber out there, get whoever is responsible for the gas line out there to move it, all that kind of stuff. I only say that because that's happened to my other job, last job I did some footings for. And yeah, there's a live 240 and unpermitted gas lines and stuff like that where we weren't supposed to be. So it is what it is. Change order, customer has to pay. Just keep, you know your numbers and keep the contract in your favor for change orders, for things that you don't know. And if you guys, free plug for myself, check my Patreon. You guys can purchase my contract if you want there. It's a base contract of like 9 pages. Probably gonna be 10 here in a little bit. And it gets a lot of good information in there. But if you're basing this estimate, think worst case scenario. Like, hey, if I'm building this, what's the worst case scenario? If we got drainage, we got this going on, gutters, in this one, like, okay, what if we can't save the fireplace? How much is that going to cost? Blah, 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 all that good stuff. It just comes down to basically the worst case scenario and knowing what you charge for your prior experiences and your square footage. It's basically it. This estimate probably took me about 20 minutes to write up. Not much sweat out of my pocket. That's why I didn't charge for it. But if I have to go back, I'm not doing a scope of work or writing up the contract and a itemized estimate for free. That doesn't happen. This estimate would probably take me 4 to 6 hours to write up line by line for all materials that I think we're gonna need and itemize everything out. That time has to be paid for, and that's why I don't do that until I have a deposit in hand, signed contract. With preliminary deposit for me pulling the permit. I charge for pulling the permit. I charge for the permit, obviously, because they're charging me. I charge for my plans and, drawing anything up that I need to, and all the red tape that I have to go through the township. That all has to be paid for. So I don't pull permits for free. That doesn't happen. You shouldn't either. Don't do that. That's not me. There's some times where I've had to go back to like 5 times for a permit to the township because they want, site conditions, they want easements, they want lot numbers. That's the wrong lot. There's some crazy stuff in my area. I don't know about your area, but my area, they can get real dumb for sure. So that's basically how I got to this. We can go over it real quick. You can see, I'm gonna run down some pictures here, but your 2-car garage, this is a 2-car garage door, not singles. We got headers in there. You got to think about, you got your load bearing walls, you got your headers, you got the garage door subcontractor, unless you're going to do that yourself as well. You've got your drywalls, you've got your HVAC, electrician, plumbers, yourself. It's a lot of work, but at the same time, it's a lot of money as well. It's going to be a good project to have, probably 5 to 6 months down the road. So you got to make sure, hey, we're months away from this. Don't even, we are at this time of this video is probably going to be July, maybe August. Don't talk to me until like November. So it's basically, we'll see. I mean, it's not that crazy fun to working outside in November in Michigan, but like they say, if the cash is there, we do not care, right? So that's all I got for you guys. We're gonna go over a couple more of these estimates. Let me know if you like these. Pretty simple. This is how I do the free estimates. I don't usually go on site, but this was a friend of a friend referral, so it was a pretty high. They recommended me word of mouth, so your chances of landing a job are pretty high. Though I'm not expecting to land. I wasn't expecting to land this job because I was asking, what kind of light fixtures and stuff. They just said cheapest. So it's like, well, I don't think you understand. This is going to be well into the 6 figures, well over the 6-figure mark. So I believe $36,000 is well over the 6-figure mark. So like and subscribe, you guys. I'll see you on the next video.